Okay. We are recording. All right, we will go ahead and get started. Hope you all have had a wonderful week. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we are going to play in window. Yeah, there we go. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful. All right. Happy Saturday to each of you. We are going to be talking about frequencies and measures of central tendency today. And so I like to, of course, start off by talking about a couple of the data sets that we're going to be using near the end of the class tonight. Today, we'll be using data sets 1, 5, 8, and 4. So if you go ahead and if you have some time between now and the next 30 minutes, go ahead and pull those up and get those fired up and ready to activate in SPSS. But I want to start off by getting everybody involved, everybody juiced up this morning. I want to throw this question out here to the class. Was this week one or when students return for each of you? For you?
We had orientation all week for our students, parents. And students.
Okay.
We also had this was week one for us. So we had being in a high school, Monday through Thursday was an orientation. Yeah. And then yesterday was the first day that the students went to all 4 classes for at least an hour.
Okay. And Terrence, which system were you part of? Are you part of?
Pamlico County.
Pamlico, that's right. Yes, and Ms. Simons?
I'm sorry.
I was saying Mrs. Simons?
I'm Wake County.
Wake County, that's right. Okay, cool.
In Cumberland County, we've had students all week, well, remotely all week. So it's been an empty building, but teaching and learning have been going on. So
absolutely. My my little one started this week virtually, and she was exhausted. She was surprised just how exhausting, sitting in front of a screen and interacting and engaging was. But their teachers were amazing and kept her engaged, kept her on her toes. And so I was impressed. We all shared a space in here, so I can keep an eye on what they're doing. My 4-year-old is she's a late birthday, into November birthday. She is in kindergarten, and so she's been interesting as well. So it's been interesting. It's been a very, very interesting week, sort of watching this from afar. But it's fascinating.
Dr. Munn, from a parent standpoint, what are your feelings? How did your week go from a parent standpoint?
It was hectic. So my wife is an EC coordinator, and so we're balancing, two kids in school and a 3-year-old who is not in school. And so it was very, very hectic in terms of curriculum and in terms of what she seems to be doing versus what she did last year. I think it's been a great adaptation. And I've been, this has taken a lot of thought. Nothing's perfect this first week, of course, but it's taken a lot of thought, and care has gone into sort of how students are, getting instruction and how they're staying engaged, and so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes for the next 5 weeks, but as a parent, but three children are my fault. I would say, that was a decision we made. But in terms of what the district has done, they've done an incredible job, and the leadership at this particular school. So hats off to you, Mr. Hernandez. It's been great. The experience has been great. There's no secret. My kid goes E. Miller, so.
Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No.
I had no idea. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's all good. No, it's all good, and I think we need to hear that. But it's been a good experience thus far. So, when my kid is tired, and and she's but she's excited, and she's telling me about Battle of the Books, and she's telling me about interacting with some of her new friends and stuff on and she's excited. That's a great sign for a first week back virtual.
And I think we have a couple of students, Dr. Munn, trying to get in. Can you let Maurice in?
Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Few students are trying to get in.
I appreciate that. When I go to full screen, it gives me this. Here we go. Maurice. All right. Cool. Boom. All right. Beautiful. Great. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. Think Terrence get kicked out. All right, we're back. All right. Anyone else want to comment on week 1? Before we move to the next prompt, starts with chat. I've been secretly looking at your mug and I'm wanting to see what you mind showing everyone what your mug looks like. There it is. A coffee mug tells a lot about a person's personality. I have a Star Wars Stormtrooper mug that is still at my office, and so folk oftentimes stop by and comment on that. So let's share a funny story, y'all. Let's get really lively. What happened this week that was funny? Let's think about that.
Oh, I'd love to share a funny story.
All right, let's go.
So I had this experience on Thursday where for 3 hours I literally did not know what this person was talking about. It was our quantitative class. I literally did not know what was going on the entire 3 hours. I asked questions, I sought clarity, and I still don't know what I learned.
You didn't go there,
in
Maurice.
quantitative class on Thursday night. I do not understand. And it was very funny to me. I just don't understand quantitative.
I don't know if it's professional for me to laugh, so I'm just going to
Maurice, you really had me going. I thought that it was a real scenario.
It was it? Because I think some other people were there, right? Some other people experienced this funny story. And let me be clear, I'm not necessarily talking about a professor. I'm talking about the fact that Maurice Anthony Mathis, I don't understand quantitative research methods. I don't understand SPSS. It goes over my head. And for that, I must laugh to keep from crying.
You are not alone, my friend.
You all have noticed that I've turned my video off. Well,
Thank you for
I do
allowing me
hope
to
I'm
share.
going to ease us into SPSS this today, and I do hope that there's a different outcome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have a funny story.
Okay.
A kindergartner was done with remote learning. She just had it. So she put her cat in the chair and left the meeting and left her cat in her place. And the cat sat there for the rest of the class.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I thought that was funny. She's like, here you go. maybe the teacher won't notice that you're a cat.
There's a whole feline on the
Yeah,
yeah,
I just thought that was hilarious and ingenious.
That is funny. So my 4-year-old has a attention span issue as well, and so she was in rare form on Friday. It was pretty bad. So I definitely understand. I definitely understand. Any more funny stories? All right. All right. Now everyone should be able to jump in here. All right. Who's your favorite musical artist and why?
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
My new favorite is Gregory Porter.
Okay.
I had never heard of him before, but it popped up on Amazon Music. So I'm not a big jazz fan.
Okay.
But his songs, his songs are really speaking to me, and it really calms me. So he's my new favorite.
That's what it is. So it's a soothing kind of music. I okay.
And got good lyrics. You know those lyrics that you don't have to turn down because your kids are in the car?
That's right.
Like it's that music that you can listen to that talks about some good stuff, but it's still up here. So
That's
even
right.
my 8th grader can't get into it yet.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's the kind of ease I need right now.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe. I feel you.
Right now, Lin-Manuel Miranda,
Yeah,
and his entire Hamilton soundtrack is my favorite right now. Literally, I listen to it every day.
Boom. That's what it
and
is.
It's 2.5 hours long, and I listen to it every single day sitting at my desk.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, Maurice, have you heard the Muppet version?
No, I don't know if I want to.
No, you need to. Do a YouTube search for the Muppet Hamilton version. It is the best. And then send me a text and let me know how you like it.
All right.
There it is. My wife and mother love Hamilton. Yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing piece of work. All right, I'm gonna start calling on people.
I can share.
Okay.
My mother, I was born in Maine and my family's from Quebec.
Really?
So Celine Dion is my favorite, not because of what you may think, but because when she sings in French, it reminds me of my mother when I was young, and my mom would sing in the Canadian French accent, lullabies and songs when she was cleaning the kitchen. And so I love to listen to Celine speak English with the same accent as a lot of my family in Maine. And I love listening to her sing in French.
So yeah, that may be a question for next week. Where were you? Where you spend your childhood? And so that is, Maine's a beautiful place. I remember 2015. Yeah. 2015. It was a horrific summer. I think it was like 100 degrees, like 5 days in a row here in Fayetteville. My wife and I, she was pregnant with Alexandria, our middle child. And so we just got in the car and drove to Maine. We figured it'd be cooler up there. And we had a great time. Gorgeous place, the coastline. It was just beautiful. And true to form, it was about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. So Yeah, it was just an amazing place. I'll love to get your recounting of your childhood and some of the memories there. And then because we're going to go back one day, and then what you would recommend, where to hang out there.
Well,
All right.
my oldest daughter, her name is Alexandra.
Really?
After my mame, yeah, and that was her middle name. And but unfortunately, when I was 3, we moved to Maryland. My dad got a job in DC, but I went back to visit every year. But it was during the winter, so it was always the day after Christmas through New Year's. We stayed up there, and it was always full of snow and freezing. But
yeah,
my mom talks about some great spots that I could share with you.
Okay, that's what's up. So my favorite artist, he just dropped the album yesterday, is Nas. He's a rapper from Queens. I'm not sure folk are familiar with him, but he probably hit his zenith in terms of popularity in the 90s or whatever. But just been really a fan of New York hip hop pretty much all my life. But yeah, just a great storyteller, great lyricist, just childhood favorite that stayed with me. A close follow up would probably be J. Cole. Just an incredible lyricist as well. Very conscious. I love rappers who talk about things that make you think. He's from Fayetteville, so he represents the hometown. So really proud of him and everything he's accomplished. All right, anybody else?
So I'm all over the place. My 2 brothers were DJs on the side, so I kind of a lot of different things, but I am a total opposite of what I look like. So I'm totally into hip hop. That's all I know. So when you say J. Cole, that's who I like, but I like some that I refuse to say the name to because I don't want to be opinionated up here.
No, we're not casting.
Say it.
Oh,
say it. Word.
I'm one of those girls. So I like a lot of things, but I like J. Cole, Drake, a whole bunch of different people. But if I go to the more soother side, I'm like a H. Her. Different things like that, but definitely into music. That's all I've been into all my life. Because of my years. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I was also gonna mention Ari Lennox, LaShonda.
Yeah, that's another one.
But if you know her, then you start forming some opinions. So I kept those to myself.
No, we're opinion free group here. It's Saturday, so now all the formalities go out the window. Drake is a number 3 or 4 for me. I just think he's an incredible talent. He's just incredible. So Ari Lennox, J. Cole twice. Okay, this is interesting. So we're sort of forming a distribution here. All right. Let's keep it moving. Anybody else? You don't have to, but
Dr. One, I'm pretty much all over the place as well. I've been dragged to concerts, like country concerts, and kind of have enjoyed just live music. My cousin is married to Rodney Jerkins, the producer, so she's all over the place as well as far as how her own career has come from pop to gospel music. They have a new song out. My little cousin was on America's Got Talent. Her name's Heavenly Joy.
Okay.
And you might have seen her. She's sang and been on TV. But they have a new song out called Come Together that Rodney Jerkins went ahead and recorded with several gospel artists. So really enjoying that right now.
Nice.
Come on, Gerald. I didn't know you were famous.
No.
Yeah.
I can't sing. No.
You famous by association, man. That's tight. I'm a huge gospel artist fan. You'll probably see here on my wall I have my favorite mass choir. Really complicated when it comes to music, but I listen to gospel music probably 95% of the time. but my favorite artist still is going to be still Lil Nas. But yeah, no, Florida Mass Choir. I love the Mass Choir movement.
Did you say Mississippi Mass?
Florida Mass. Florida Mass is my favorite.
I thought you said Mississippi Mass.
Look, don't get me started now. Mississippi is super dope. Georgia, I mean, those are that's like the Trinity for me. I mean, they're just, oh man. Hezekiah Walker, I mean, it's hard to even differentiate, Donnie, Clerkin, William McDowell. I could go on and on. I mean, my playlist is seriously 8 hours long. But it's just, yeah, my wife and I play for our church, and obviously we use a lot of that. But yeah, I hear you. What's about the Mississippi Mass Choir? Holla at me about that.
Oh no, I was just messing with you. I think Mississippi might be better than Florida, but
everybody says that, but nah, I rock with my Florida. I mean, I just like Florida. I mean, Mississippi's like complex. You know what I'm saying? They have yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Like we could go down like a real rabbit hole there, but I like the simplicity of Florida. And to be honest, like my parents really drilled Florida Mass Choir in me in the 90s. So that Live in Miami album, I can pretty much sing, verbatim, and then like Walter Hawkins, Love Alive 4, with Thank You Lord on it. Oh my gosh, it's just classics. But I like some of the new school stuff too. So, at any rate, okay. Anybody else?
Well, I can say I don't really have an artist per se that I like. I mean, if I listen to anything, it's definitely old school.
Okay.
And of course, the gospel music, I kind of listen to a variety of all of it. But yeah, for me, it has to be old school. This new music that's out now, I don't understand it. And my nieces and nephews have to keep me up on what they're listening to. But I will say that I thoroughly enjoyed, for my 40th birthday, I was in Vegas and I saw Boyz II Men in concert at the Mirage.
Wow.
So, I mean, that right there, I mean, I was literally sitting at the stage.
Come on now.
So, I mean, that's what I would say would be an interesting, music that I love. And I mean, when they sang a lot of their old songs, all of their old songs pretty much. So that's what
was it the 4 or 3?
It was 4, but one was missing. Actually, they had
they had a replacement.
Yeah, they did have a replacement. Mm-hmm. They did have a replacement. What's the one that had the deep voice? He wasn't there.
Man.
He was the
girl.
Yeah, so you're right.
Girl,
yeah, so he was.
You know how we do. Sometimes when I think about you, I don't even know how to react.
Come on, Maurice. Come on now. Come on,
Maurice, let us find out you got that.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Maurice.
Take me back to the 90s. Oh, yes.
Yes, but I'm saying, but anything back in the night, like I said, Boyz II Men. I mean, oh my goodness, that was the highlight of the whole trip when I was at Vegas. But
that is incredible.
I enjoyed that. So
yeah. I have to go next.
Okay.
I'm all over the place, but as far as my, I don't have a favorite because I like different ones. Like Boyz II Men is one of my favorites. So people get in my car because they're not on music like that. They look at me like I'm crazy, which I keep playing it anyway. So I love Boyz II Men. I didn't like it when they went to 3, but they still hold it down. And then of course I'm on the other side with gospel. I'm a Winans fanatic.
Okay.
Fred Hammond.
Oh yes.
Then you go to the the New Edition. I still play those. People look at me crazy, which I don't care. And now I listen to like Tank.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a 1980 baby as well. I turned 40 this year. And so definitely feel you on the Boyz II Men. I liked 112. Erykah Badu, she really made her, these are the things we listened to in high school. And, it was an incredible time for neo soul and R&B. So yeah, thank you for that. Fred Hammond, I'm a bassist, and so I sort of worship Fred Hammond because he's just amazing. You know, not worship, but really, really admire him. An incredible voice, incredible talent. Yeah. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan, and I've listened to him since I was a kid. I even tried to get the jacket, the Thriller jacket, but my mom wouldn't let me, or she didn't want to pay for it because it was expensive. But him and DMX, and if they had did a song together, oh yeah, and if they had did a song together, that would have been amazing.
Look at Maurice.
Michael Jackson. I share the same birthday with Michael Jackson, so I feel you with that one.
Yeah.
Oh
Off
man.
the Wall was my favorite, my very first album I ever owned. I had the jacket and everything. Not the jacket to wear, but it was a vinyl record, Off the Wall. I still have it somewhere up in my attic, I think.
Yeah.
Hey Phil, I got the cheap red jacket from JCPenney's back in the day, man.
Yeah, we had to make our own jackets, and
Yeah.
I understand.
So generally, when I have a group of more than 5 and I conduct this exercise, Marvin Gaye normally never gets, admitted. This is amazing. This is the first time I've not.
He one of those opinionated people. You can't say you like Marvin Gaye and don't, get people looking at you sideways.
I'm telling you, this is an opinion-free zone. We're not having any opinions on folks, so yeah. Feel free. All right. If all minds and hearts are clear, for those of us who take it to church, let's move on into the lecture today. All right. So statistical tests to be covered today. We're going to keep it pretty mild today. We're going to do frequencies, mean, median, mode, and minimum and maximum. And I am going to pray that I don't end up being a funny story for next week. I tried to make this as understandable as possible. So if you have any questions, please hit me up and let me know.
Well, you have pretty big shoes to fill, Dr. Mon. I'll go ahead and tell you. Someone in the group said that they'll get all their understanding on Saturday. So by the end of this class, I'm sure we'll all have a great understanding.
Well, thank you. This is just a reminder slide on the data sets that we're going to be using today. 1, 5, 8, and 4. They should all be on the website. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about frequency distributions. All right.
Can you go back one? I'm sorry, Dr.
For sure,
Martha?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. All right, so we're going to talk about frequency distributions. So as an education researcher, your first task is to organize and simplify the data so that it is possible to get a general overview of your results. And this is the goal of descriptive statistics in general. One method for simplifying and organizing data is to construct a frequency distribution. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Super simple today. All right, so a frequency distribution is an organized tabulation showing exactly how many individuals or things are located in each category on a scale of measurement. Sounds complicated. It isn't. All right. So it presents an organized picture of the entire set of scores, and it shows where each individual is located relative to the others in a distribution. So for example, we're just interested in the kinds of cars traveling on I-95. So we are going to take a look at Fords, BMWs, Chevys, and Toyotas. So we sit there on I-95 for 35 minutes and we observe the numbers of cars, and we observe 45 Fords, 129 Toyotas, 89 Chevys, and 76 BMWs. This is a distribution. All right. So the table consists of at least 2 columns, one listing the categories. Now, can folk tell me what the categories are here?
Ford, BMW, Chevy, and Toyota.
That's right, car type. And what kind of variable is that?
Nominal.
That is a scale of measurement, and you are correct. But what?
Independent.
It is it's
Dependent?
in this instance.
Categorical.
Categorical, yes.
Oh.
I'm sorry, but you're right. It would determine the number of cars. I don't think we haven't crafted this into a question. I'm going to shy away from calling it independent or dependent variable. But yeah, this is a categorical variable. This is a variable that is in categories. And you're right, Maurice. It is nominal. There's no order to this. We don't have Toyota above Ford or BMW or Chevy. They're just categories. Okay. You all hear my dog Star. Whenever she hears me talking, she starts barking. So please forgive me. Have a great day out there. So this is the scale of, this is the category, and these are the actual frequencies. How many times we've seen a Ford car, BMW car, Chevy, and Toyota. So for the frequency column, tallies are determined for each value, how often each X value occurs in the data set, and these tallies are the frequencies for each X value. And the X values in this situation are car type, and we see Ford 45 times, Toyota 129 times, and so on and so on. I won't insult your intelligence. But the sum of the frequencies should equal N. And so when you add up all the observations, they end up being 339. And this is useful in order for us to be able to determine the percentages, what percentage of the Fords there are of the total. We're going to always have to have the N, which is the total number of observations. One of the most important variables or characteristics in statistics. So a third column can be used for the proportion, which is frequencies divided by N, which is the second column divided by the N, which is 339. You're not going to see this a whole ton, but it's cool to have to understand. It is sort of a precursor for what your percentages would be. And the fourth column can display the percentages of the distribution corresponding to each X value. So all you do is multiply it by 100, and that gives you the percentages of each observation. So we can say out of all the 339 counties, 339 cars that we observed on I-95 going southbound, that 38% of them were Toyotas, 26% of them were Chevys, 22% of them were BMWs, and 13% of them were Fords. Simple. But this is helpful. This is how when you first initially get data, this is sort of the first step, and it gives you just sort of a clear picture. You can't make any inferences on this stuff, but it's just good. It's a good way of organizing your data on the front end. And it is oftentimes when you get into larger data sets, it can tell you a lot. It can give you a lot of, pretty interesting initial information. So how often do things occur? That's generally the question that a frequency is going to ask, and you can use categorical variables and continuous variables can be recoded. So we're just going to have a sample problem statement here. How many males and females are in Biology 101. So we all know who Jane Jim, just based on the names here, what their gender is. But in order for SPSS or any other Excel or any other statistical software to be able to do the analysis, you're going to have to convert those categorical variables into codes, into numbers. And so you can assign 1 for female and 0 for male. And so if you were to get a overall score and it trended closer towards 0, then you can immediately see that distribution of data set is going to be more skewed towards males. If it's closer to 1 in this instance, then it's going to be more female. But at first glance, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be probably 50-50, I believe. I did that. Yep. So in this situation, you have 4 males, 4 females, which means that your percent is 50-50. Cumulative percent is 50-50. Pretty simple, right?
And the proportion will be 0.5.
0.5 and 0.5, that's right. Now, we don't use that very much, but you're absolutely correct, 0.5 and 0.5. All right, so measures of central tendency. This generally, the questions and answers here are, what is the average, what is the center of the data, and which score occurs most frequently. These typically require continuous or scale variables. Categorical variables will work only if 2 attributes of the variable, only if 2 attributes or variable labels. So here's a problem statement. What was the average score from the last test in Biology 101? So let's delve a little deeper with mean. The question, the mean answers for us all in statistics is, what is the average? Again, the sample question here is, what was the average score in Biology 101? Median, what is the center of the data? And mode, which is the score that occurs most frequently? And that's often helpful in statistics as well. Minimum and maximum. What are the extremes of the data? Can anyone tell me what the minimum and maximum are here?
Is it 45 and 100?
That's right. It's that simple. And so a sample problem statement here would be, what was the lowest and what were the highest scores from the last test in Biology 101? So oftentimes we'll want to visualize these data pieces that we have. And so when we have nominal data, we will generally use bar charts. When we have scale or interval and ratio, or better yet, continuous data, we like to use histograms. And we'll get into standard deviation next week. Yeah, that's right. So in a frequency distribution graph, the score categories are listed on the x-axis, which is the one going, generally right. And then the frequencies are listed on the x-axis, which means that's the one going up. When the score categories consist of numerical values from an interval or ratio scale, the graph should be, again, a histogram or a polygon. In a histogram, a bar is centered above each score so that the height of the bar corresponds to the frequency, and the width extends to the real limits so that the adjacent bars touch. So in this visualization, we see quiz scores, all right? So which out of the quiz scores, tell me, just visually, which score do we see the most? 3. That's absolutely right. And which one do we see the least?
1.
That's right. All right. The frequency table on here, the histogram down here on the bottom. Again, these are all what kind of heights, what kind of variable is our heights?
Categorical.
True 0. If you have 0 height, you have
ratio.
0 ratio and continuous. That's right. That's absolutely
But,
right.
Okay, so let me ask a question on that.
Sure.
Let me not ask a question on that.
Okay. Feel free
Okay.
anytime. Just let me know if it comes back. Just let me know. All right. So, which of these heights do we see the most? In terms of frequency?
39.
39. Absolutely. We see that one approximately 6 times in this distribution, in this class. This is imagine that this is a class of, what is 39 inches? Is that like 3 feet? So let's say it's a classroom of first graders, I guess. Yeah, so this is a classroom of first graders, and we have some giant on the other end. So which of the scores do we see the least?
44 to 45 inches.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. So in a polygon, the dot is centered above each score so that the height of the dot corresponds to the frequency. The dots are then connected by straight lines, and an additional line is drawn at each end to bring the graph back to a 0 frequency.
Dr. Mudd,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I know you said these are going to be available, but can you go back, I think maybe 2 or 3, where it says these types of variables this one right here.
So yeah, for your, and I probably should have put instead of nominal scale there, I should have put continuous and categorical there right here where it says nominal and scale. And so yeah, I think I'm going to change that so it's more clear. Yeah. But at any rate, when you're using nominal data, you're going to want to use bar charts. When you're using scale data, like what we were just looking at, like height and number of test scores and all that stuff, you're going to want to use histograms and polygons. Cool? Awesome. Okay, so these are essentially the same. This is the same data pieces. They're not different in terms of scores. It's just that you're using points instead of the bars that touch each other. So we still see here that the most frequent score is 3, and I'm assuming this is still no. Nope. I don't understand what this last one is. What did I do here? So scratch the last graph because I don't remember what I was doing there. But for the first graph, it corresponds with the other histogram. It's the same thing where you have 3 as the most frequent types of scores. And I'm going to assume that this is another type of a test. 12 to 13. Yeah, I'm going to please ignore this last graph because I have no clue what I was doing there. All right. So when the score categories, and so when you see categories, that gives you a hint. Categorical variables, right? Are measurements from a nominal or an ordinal scale. The graph should be a bar chart or bar graph. And a bar graph is just like a histogram, except that the gaps or spaces are left between the adjacent bars. So we have across, you have a question, Maurice? Okay. So across the bottom, you have the x-axis, you have a very clear categorical variable, personality type. Personality, you have A personality, B personality, or C personality. And we see the frequencies, let's say this is a measure of first year teachers, right? And you have these distributions, or you have these respondents. First of all, just by a glance at this, how many teachers are in this data set?
35.
That's correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so the personality, what is the personality? I'm going to insult your intelligence, but what is the personality that shows up most often?
C.
C. Least often?
B.
Okay, good. Can anyone give me a percentage of personality types out of the whole? So that would be 20 divided by 35 for C. So what percentage of the whole do C personalities make up?
I would need a whole calculator.
About 60 something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's do it together on our calculators on our cell phones, which is look, I am not above using the tools that I have here. So
My 3-year-old took
What?
my cell phone.
I'm confused. What was your question again?
It's
So
57%.
what was that percentage again?
57.
57. So my question was this: we have 35 teachers in this entire model, in this distribution, okay? And so my question was, what percentage of all these teachers have personality C? And so we see here that there are 20 teachers that have 20 personality C. And so in order for us to get a percentage, we would just divide 20 into the overall teachers pool, which is 35.
Okay. It took me a minute to figure out the 35. I got you, but I
Oh,
got
no
you.
worries.
Thank you.
No worries.
Vonda, you're not the only one. I wasn't going to ask the question, so I just kept looking at it, and I finally figured out 20, 10, and 5.
Look,
Okay.
don't do that.
Because I was like, I don't see 35. I was like, where are you getting 35 from? But that's okay. I figured it out.
No, please stop me at any time. I want you to understand we have plenty of time today. So please stop me. Okay. What percentage of these teachers are personality B?
One out of 7.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we would divide 5 into 35.
14%.
Which would give you 14%. And what percentage of these of these teachers are A personality?
Is it 28?
28.5. That's correct. And that is that's about all there is to it. I'm gonna jump into okay, let me go back. Does anyone have any questions here before we move on into SPSS? Okay, don't be bashful. It took me a lot of times to figure all this stuff out myself. So please don't be bashful about asking questions. So we're gonna do this. Bear with me because I'm gonna have to do a lot of screen switching But we're going to go through our SPSS example 1. All right, so we're going to go back to our tried and true Biology 101. And so this is a roster of anonymous students in a Biology 101 class with gender, height, and weight, okay? Can anyone tell me what kind of variable gender is, categorical or continuous?
Categorical.
Categorical. And what type of, is it nominal or ordinal?
Nominal.
That's right. All right. What about height? Is it categorical or continuous?
Continuous.
Mm-hmm. And is it interval or ratio?
Ratio.
That's right. All right, y'all. I see you. All right. What about weight? Is it categorical or continuous?
Continuous.
Continuous.
Interval or ratio?
Ratio, maybe?
Who said ratio? Is that Tina?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, see, it's similar. It's just like height. It can go up or down. And it has a true zero.
True zero. That's what I want to hear. True zero. If you don't have any weight, your scale's going to be 0. All right. Cool. And a bonus question. What can you tell me about gender as a variable? It starts with a D.
Dichotomous.
Dichotomous. That's right. Bingo. Awesome. So now you have an understanding of what kinds of variables these are, and what we're going to be, how we're going to be moving forward with this. Now, SPSS doesn't distinguish between interval and ratio. It just says scale. It does distinguish between nominal and ordinal. So you'll see nominal, ordinal in your variable view. Bingo. So we got a couple of questions here. What is our N? Can anyone tell me what the N is in a data set? The total of what?
Number of participants, maybe?
Yeah, you can say participants, but we generally like to say total observations.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yes, that's fine. That's fine. And so we're going to also answer, what percentage of the class is female? What percentage of the class is male? What percentage of the class is 68 inches tall? And what percentage of the class is over 5.5 feet tall? It's going to require a little bit of conversion, but we're going to be able to do that. Looking at from a data set. So let me find my biology data set. Here it is. Can everyone see that, or is that
open this as well?
I'm sorry.
Do you want us to open this as well, or just watch?
Yes, I want you to follow along with me as I do this.
Okay.
Please, thank you for asking that. Good grief, small. Can everyone see that? Is that too small?
The numbers are small, really small.
Okay, let me.
Plus, I don't have my glasses.
I have my glasses plumb on me, and it's small also.
I think I left them in the kitchen. I don't know.
Are the last two supposed to have a height and weight?
No.
Okay.
Those are missing. Yeah. And that's going to happen sometimes when you do survey data. Some people are going to answer all 10 questions. Some people are going to skip 7. Some people are going to skip, question number 3. Okay, so let's imagine these are the first 12 students who've ever enrolled at your university. So their student IDs are 1 through 12, okay? But we've assigned a variable or a code. We've gone ahead and coded gender. And you'll see the screen, and let me know when everybody give me a holler. Actually, let me stop before I jump into this and ask if everyone has pulled up their data set.
I have not.
Okay.
My SPSS is on my desktop in my office.
Okay.
So I'm having to just follow along.
Okay. I'll give everybody else a couple of minutes to follow to get it fired up. My SPSS is temperamental. I'm so glad I fired it up last night. It was telling me that my and let me know if anyone else has this issue. But it was telling me that my license was not active or something weird, and so I had to go in and change the lock code, which was annoying. But at any rate, let's see here.
Mine just isn't opening right now. That's temperamental. Maybe a 5.
Okay.
I'm good. Not that mine is open, just that my SPSS just won't open. So no one
Yeah,
is.
I had that problem last night. It's a great program when it's open, when it works.
It's done this before though, and I don't even know what I did to get it to open. It just magically opened one time, so I'll continue to try.
Okay. Is everybody else good?
Maurice, you need to try a PC. That's what the issue is.
Oh, Brady, why'd you have to go there on a Saturday morning?
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and get started here. So what we're in right now is the data view. And there's data view and there's a variable view. And so in the data view, you see we've already changed gender. We've already coded gender into numbers. And you can always go back and forth and sort of see what you have coded it from by using this variable coder. I always forget the name of it. Value labels, that's what it's called. And so you're able to go back and forth once you've coded it just to get an idea of what is. In order to code these, so let's go back here into variable view. And let's just say that that 11 and 12 decided that they are now a new type of gender called alien. And so we're going to delete those two out and we're going to go here to variable view. And we're going to go to this column called values. And then we're going to click right here on the ellipse. You see three little dots here. And we're going to go over here to value. And so as I said, 11 and 12 decided that their new gender is going to be alien. So in order to be able to represent that, I'm going to put in the number 3 here. And then I'm going to go down to label and put in alien. And then I'm going to click add. And now we have alien. So then I'm going to go back over here to data view and I'm going to put in 3 and 3. And it should show now alien as gender. So whenever I run my distribution or run my model here, it'll show up that 2 of the 12 are alien gender. But that's just to show you really quickly how to code your categorical variables. We're going to remove that. And then we're going to go back here to data view. And we're going to restore them. And as you see here, if I try to use value label, I don't have a value attached or a name attached to it. It's not going to do what I want it to do. So we're going to change that back to 2. And now those are going to be female. Okay, so that seems pretty straightforward. Everybody still on board here? Now, we don't have to code weight and height because they are continuous variables, and they will, in SPSS, is going to be just fine, sort of, being able to do the numerical analysis on the back end. So the only thing that we have to do on the back end here, now SPSS doesn't like a lot of words. It's very particular about what the name of the variable is. So generally we have very, 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 very easy or very simple labels for each variable. Sometimes folk use abbreviations, what have you, but it's very, I don't think you can do spaces and all that other stuff. So people generally have pretty stripped down labels for their variables. That being said, if you want on the back end to have better, more information about the variable, you can put it here in the label piece. Gender, self-explanatory, and generally height and weight is as well, but I like to show here how it is that you can put information about the variables in here to better inform you or anyone else using the data set what this actual variable is. All right. So that's pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and go into the all-important analysis here, and we're going to go ahead go to analyze. Then we're going to go to descriptive statistics. And then the very first thing is something that you should be familiar with, which is frequencies. So we're going to just run some frequencies on these variables. All right, take you back over here. All right, so you should have a box that pops up here, and it's going to give you your more descriptive version of your variable. It's going to give you the one that it's going to give you gender, and it's going to also give you your description here. So I want to run the analysis on all of these. So you can do, except for a random identification number, that's not going to give me any kind of information that I'm interested in. So you can do this one of two ways. You can double click them, or you can shift, hold down, and select them all, and then press the over button. Or you can do it individually, however you'd like. There's no real rhyme or reason to it.
So for this, we would call this an analysis or frequency.
Yeah, frequency analysis.
What we would pull over simply is, in the very layman's of terms, the things that we want to count and get the, okay.
Bingo, bingo, absolutely, absolutely. So then we're gonna go here.
It says gender. Dr. Munn, mine just says gender, but yours says male or female.
Yeah, I just, and what I did, let's hit cancel, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I did. So hit cancel, go to variable view, and go to this column called label, and then type in male or female. And I was just showing you how you can add descriptors to your variables because SPSS is so finicky on what it allows you to see on data view. So yeah, just go here to row 2, column label, and just put in male or female.
Okay,
Cool.
I did that. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So let's go back over here to an analyze. Let's go to frequencies. And I'm going to put these back, okay? And then I'm going to just shift and click, and I'm just going to do all mine at once. Hit the over button, and then I'm going to click on statistics. Okay. So what am I interested in seeing today? I'm interested in seeing the mean. I'm interested in seeing the median and the mode and the minimum and maximum. I think that's what we covered today. And then I'm just going to click continue. And then I'm going to click OK. And so you should get an output that gives you this information. Okay. All right. So these are sort of our initial statistics here. It tells us that we have students. How many students do we have in this class? What is our N?
12. Was that a question?
12.
12, right here. So look at the first box, the statistics, and the first row is our N, and we see here that we have 12 students. Now remember, going back here to our data view, that we had missing data here. We didn't have height or weight data for these two female participants. So when we go back over here to the statistics tab, it's going to show us height in inches is what? 10, and weight in pounds is 10. We only got 10 respondents there. And it shows us the missing data right here on this row, 2 missing for each of those variables, continuous variables. All right. That being said, what is our average height in inches?
$65.8.
That's absolutely right. And what is our average weight in pounds?
133.
That's right. And median, someone tell me what median is.
The center of the data.
Center of the data. All right. All right. Let me open that back up because I'm gonna have to resize you. Here we go. All right. Put you over here. All right, cool. Great. And the mode is the what? What is the mode?
Most often seen data.
Mm-hmm. And so what are we seeing the most in terms of male or female? What are we seeing the most? If male was 1 and 2 was female, what are we seeing the most?
Female.
We're seeing more females, right? Now, if we're talking about height in inches, what is the score that we're seeing the most in terms of height in inches?
64 inches.
64 inches. In weight in pounds?
116.
That's correct. Okay. Let's go back to these questions that I had lined up for us. So we got our N. Let's go on down to the frequency table. Remember the one that I did in the beginning of the lecture? This looks pretty similar, right? How many males do we have in this class, Biology 101 class?
5.
And how many females do we have in this Biology 101 class?
7.
7, all right. Percentage of males?
41%, 41.7.
Right, and percentage of females?
58.3.
And if you add that up, that gives you what?
100.
100, right. All right. So what percentage of the class is over 68 inches tall? So let's go down here to the frequency table for height in inches.
8.3%.
That's right. That's right. And what?
Wait. But that's only one person, though, right?
Wait, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, please go back. Please go back to that again.
Happily. Okay.
Oh, you said what percentage is 68 inches.
Said over.
Yeah, I meant to say, you know
Oh,
what?
2 people.
I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
because
I'm
if you
sorry.
said over, you would need to add everything over.
Yeah.
Below.
Yeah, and so we'll actually ask that question in a second here.
Okay.
But what percentage of the class? I asked that wrong. What percentage of the class is 68 inches tall?
20%.
16%.
Oh, 16%.
16.7.
Sorry, I looked at the valid percent column. Oopsie.
And the valid percent is what you would. The valid percent is what you would use if you omitted the missing. Okay. But since we're not omitting the missing, we're just doing, we're including the missing, it would be 16.7. So always, in terms of actuality, always use the percent, in answering questions. Okay. But because I messed up, let's use the mess up question here. What percentage of the class is 68% and over? Inches, 68% inches, and over. Yeah.
25%.
Yep. So y'all see what she did there?
Yes.
She took 68, 17.7, and 8.3, and she added them together, and that would give us that. Now here's for some super math. How many inches are in a foot?
12.
Well,
All right, so let's multiply. What percentage of the class is over 5.5 inches tall?
5.5 inches.
5.5 feet tall.
So over 65. So
50%.
yes.
No, is that not right, Dr. Munn?
That's right.
Oh. 5.
So
I can do this kind of math.
Isn't it 66 inches? It's 5 feet.
Yeah.
5 inches.
And so you want to know what's over that.
So we
So
would just
I
add
got 25.
Right.
Oh, 25. Okay.
That's correct. That's correct.
But 66 is 5'6", isn't it?
Yeah.
So they count.
Yeah, you're right. It's 5.5 and a half.
So
it's 50.
So when I did 5.5 times 12, I got 66 inches.
Yeah, so it's 50% of the class, not 25.
So we're looking for over 66.
Oh, over. Okay,
25.
Lord, these trick questions, I'm muting.
No. So does everybody good with that? Mr. Terrence, you good?
So you added 16.7 and 8.3.
That's right.
Because your question was what percentage is over?
Is over 66 inches.
60,
right.
Okay, so we took 16.7 and 8.3. Okay.
I got it now.
Yeah. All right. Cool. That's what it is. All righty. Okay. I think I asked these questions. We asked what the mean, median, and mode were for each of these. What was the maximum weight in pounds for female students? Did I do that? No, I didn't do the cross. Ignore that. Yeah, I didn't run them against each other. Okay. So I guess we're going to move on to SPSS example 2, which is, I think, apropos for this season of in American politics. So we're going to be talking about debate data set, sample data set 5. It's a pretty fun one. I like this one. So we're going to minimize the dots. And then we're going to bring up our debate. And everybody, give me a holler once you've got that pulled up.
I see it. I have it.
Nice.
Cynthia on the quick draw.
Well, see, I have 2 laptops going, so I downloaded SPSS on a different laptop, so I'm able to look at 2 at one time.
Okay, fancy.
Look.
I got 2 laptops. My man got 2 laptops.
And the key to it is if SPS is already up, once you click on Dr. Munn's link, it automatically pops up.
That's awesome.
So I get an A for today.
All right. Everybody good? I'm gonna move on into this. So the first thing I want you to do is to go to Data View, and I want you to click Value Labels. Okay. Every one of these variables is a what kind of variable? Continuous or categorical?
Categorical.
Mm-hmm. So let's go over to the variable view. And you can always tell what kind of variable it is when you go in the variable view and you see the measure, okay? It's going to tell you whether it's ordinal or nominal, okay?
Wait a minute, Dr. Munn, I'm
Yes, ma'am.
sorry.
Yeah.
Can you go back when you said look in data view
Uh-huh.
and look at the values? Show me that again.
The value label. Yeah, so go over here to the very top, and mine may be slightly different. I'm not sure. But along this ribbon up here at the top, you'll see A and 1 and A. And this is the button I often use just to see if it'll give me, flip between the coded version and the non-coded version, okay?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Does anybody else does anybody else see this is shaded out? That value is shaded out where you can't click on it? Okay. I have the data set 5 pulled up, but when I'm in data view, this is not red and white, it is gray, so I can't click on it, but I'll play with it and try to figure it out later. Thank you.
Yeah, would you, feel free if you want to share your screen. Maybe we can do a little bit of diagnostics. That is the option.
I will just follow along, and then I don't want to slow up the class. Thank you.
You're not slowing it up. We're all a family. We're all a team. You'll see as I address each and every one of us every email. We're team 1720. So we're all a team, but I'll respect that, and we'll move on. But yes, so we'll go over here to variable view, and actually let's go back to data view. Let's go back here to data view, and we'll see these really, sort of innocuous, weird looking variable views. And so we have preference 1, preference 2. And then we have age category right here. But when you go over to age, when you go over here to variable view and you go to label, it gives you a more, it gives you a clearer and more descriptive explanation of what the variable is, okay? And so all the coding has been done already for you. If you were to do a quantitative dissertation and a quantitative study, and your variables were categorical, you would need to definitely come in here and do this yourself. But it's not difficult. So what they did, they took a categorical, a continuous variable in age, and put it in the categories. I'm going to show you what they did. So they said a group vote into quartiles, into groups of 4. And so they have under 31 as value 1. They have value 2, 31 to 45, value 3, 45 to 60, and value 4 over 60. Okay. They did the 0, 1, 0 for male, 1 for female. And you see what I'm doing here? I'm just clicking on these ellipses in the column view. Okay. Yeah, someone asked a question?
Yeah, and it probably has nothing to do with this, but just for my own understanding and probably for your opinion, for that age category, how did you do this data set? Did you?
I didn't. SPSS blessed me with it.
Okay, so SPSS has determined that these age categories are a logical order, and that one is greater than the other by putting it in ordinal. Is that shouldn't really be it, right? Because it would say that one age category is better than the other.
That's what I think they're doing it just sequentially because it's going up and the ages are going up. But yeah, in terms of what actually ordinal is or in rank, I think they're just doing it because the ages are ascending. Not because one group is more important or one voter group is voter groups are more important as they age. I think they just did it because it's just ascending. Yeah, that's my rationale there. I would not put any stock that a 6-year-old voter is more important than a 31-year-old voter. But thank you for the question. It's a very good question. Very, very observational. Observe it. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at the value labels for the individual candidate. And this is truly, truly nominal in every sense of it, because we don't want to put any value on candidates, obviously. But you see what they did here, A, B, C, and D, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So candidate Addison is value 1. Bolton is that Bhutan. Cruz and Dean. All right. And so what this data set does, it wants to see what people's preferences for the candidates were before the debate, and then what were their preferences after the debate, a pre-test and a post-test. Okay. It's pretty cool. And so you see here in the value labels for preference 2, they're exactly the same. All right. All right. So we are going to go, if we're all good there, we're going to go back to data view. And then we're going to go to analyze. We're going to go to frequencies. And we're going to put all 4 categories, all 4 variables into the variable box. Then we're going to do mean, median, mode, and maximum and minimum. And then we're going to hit continue. And then we're going to hit OK. So then you should have your same output. If you scroll to the very top, you have your output from the first analysis we ran. But you'll see this red arrow. And this red arrow tells you that this is the most frequent analysis that you've run. So that always sort of orients you to where you are.
Okay, Dr. Munn, can you do those steps again? I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine, completely fine. I'm going to, actually, let me not do that. All right, so let's go back here to the data view. And then we're going to click Analyze. And then we're going to go to Descriptive Statistics. No, I'm not. And then we're going to go to Frequencies. All right. Now, it should look like this before you run it. Once you run it one time, it's going to always put the variables in the variable box. But generally, it's going to have all of your variables here on the left-hand column box. And so you can individually put them over here, or you can shift and select them all and put them into the variable box. Then you're going to go over here to statistics. I'm going to uncheck these. And so what we want are mean, median, mode, and minimum and maximum. Okay. Then we're going to click continue. And then we're going to click OK. All right. So as I said before, you have your red arrow here. But you know that's the most recent analysis that you've run. Are you good? I'll do it again if you need me to. I'm happy to do it again.
I'm good. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Okay, so what questions did I have for us here? All right, I always like to ask, what is our N? So how many people were they able to survey? What was the entire, where were all the observations?
1,296.
Right. Everyone see that? 1,296. Okay, let's go down to our gender frequency table right here. So we're gonna leave the statistics table. I'm gonna go down here to the gender table. All right. Now, how many of our debate respondents are female?
685.
Okay. And what percentage?
52.9.
52.9, that's right. And since we don't have any missing data points for that, then the valid percent and the percent are going to be the same. Okay. What percent of the debate respondents are male?
47.1.
That's right. So just at a glance, what does that say about survey respondents?
About half and half.
Yeah, more females responded than males.
That's right. More females responded than males. And that's generally the case.
All responded as well, since when we look on the, it went away.
Say again.
Never mind.
Okay. All right. So we want to know the preference before the debate, okay? Here's the box. Here's a frequency table for preference before the debate. And so we're going to take a look at the percent column, and we're going to try to figure out which candidate was a preference before the debate. Who was the front runner?
Cruz.
Cruz. Why?
Largest percentage.
Largest percent, 34%.
Large percentage, right? Right. He had 441 people in his favor. Okay. So we see that 34% there. Let's take a look at question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much support did the front runner lose after the debate?
2%.
2%.
2%. Mm-hmm.
Is he still the front runner?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, taking a look at those two tables, who made the biggest leap?
Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Cynthia.
She's doing that thing. She's doing it. Good job. Does that make sense to everybody?
It does.
If you can see the table, I mean, comparing the two tables, it makes sense. Looking at the numbers, yeah, it takes you a few minutes though.
Yeah.
Did you say that Dean made the biggest leap? Because his is exactly the same on cumulative percent.
Oh, we're not looking at cumulative percent. We're looking at percent right here.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. All right. Okay, so what does the mode tell us in terms of the age category?
What age most of them are?
Right, at which age most of the respondents are. That's absolutely right. What does it tell us in terms of gender?
They're mostly male.
No, they're mostly female.
Oh, female, number one. I need my glasses. Let me just shut up. Okay.
No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. And the preference before the debate, what does that tell us?
The majority prefer cruise.
Yep, and they still prefer cruise after the what?
After the
debate. So you can take a look at the mode, and it can tell you a lot just at the glance. At a glance. And the age group again that gave us the most responses were the older, and that's generally the case. Older folk tend to vote more reliably, and in terms of offering their input, it was pretty significant. I'm going to attempt to do a graph here. Oftentimes when it comes to SPSS, graphs are temperamental, and I don't always remember how to do them correctly, so please bear with me. All right, so all of these were categorical variables, correct? And if we go back to this slide here, remember that categorical variables give us what kind of chart?
Bar
chart. So William Munn is going to try not to make a fool of himself in front of, I'm going to hit bar charts, and we're going to do, let's do percentages here. And I just want to look at gender and preference after the debate. And we're going to hit OK. Okay, thank God. So we have percent here, male and female. And then we have percent preference, percent before the debate. Now I could go back here, and this is just a really, really simple graph. I mean, I don't think you can get more simple than this. But it shows, yeah.
I just want to jump in and let you know that if we're going by your break time, it is around that time. So.
Oh yeah. I was going to finish these graphs, and then we're going to be doing break time.
I'm good with it.
Thanks for reminding me, because I will go.
I need another chart.
So preference. So we see as we go back up here, we see percent and gender. Gender for males is 47%. We come down here, and what does it say? Right around 47%. You can do and you go back up here to female. Female was, did I go too far? Yes, I did. Female is 52.9, and so we see it slightly above 50.
So these are the ones, because I've kind of glanced at yours and your syllabus, and we're gonna do some write-up toward the end of the semester. And I would guess that we're gonna be running things like this, but we can like copy these into the write-up. That's what people do, right?
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll right click and hit copy or export, and you get all this. jazz. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This is why I really love SPSS, because you can literally take what you take here, minimal, polishing, and put this directly into your dissertation. Yeah. APA loves SPSS, because even down to the font, because they'll ask you, they're really sticklers on the font and all that stuff and the size and all that crap. But yeah, so you saw when I made the decision, you saw when I was doing this analysis the first time, I was trying to sort of feeling my way through, it asked me whether or not I wanted to do I wanted to do percentages. It also allowed me to do the frequencies, which is just the count. Yeah, and so we have count here, 600 and a little over 600 there, and it's going to look exactly the same, but that gives you the count versus the percentages. Okay, everyone, let's take a 10-minute break. I'll see you back here at about 10:38, 10:48.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We're going to jump back into it. All right. Can folks hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. All right. We're going to go ahead and minimize the debate data sheet here. And then we're going to pull up car sales. All right. This is not, this is going to be interesting. Yes, I decided at about 8:42 this morning to replace the American National Election Survey with this data set. And so we're going to kind of be flying blind here, but we're going to make it happen. All right. Oh, sorry. All right. Okay. All right. I hope everyone has it up. I'm going to be calling on folk. Who is the person with the two laptops? Here. Oh, so you always want to say hey to everybody. Say hey.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Say hey.
Hey.
Okay,
Hey, cutie patootie.
so I gotta go back to work.
I want to go to work.
I heard you at the door. All right.
Dr. Moon.
Uh-huh.
So my children were over here and they just said, "Hi, baby."
I love it.
They think they so grown because they 3.
Hi, baby. That's cute.
All right. Who had the 2 laptops?
I'm not sure. I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, you stunting on us, so you know. I'm not gonna ask you to. So let's. Miss Simons, is that your last name?
That is correct.
Yes. Let's have you walk through for us what we should be looking for here in very general terms. I guess the 2 variables we'll look at are price and manufacturer. So if we look at manufacturer here, what kind of variable is manufacturer, class?
Categorical.
Categorical or continuous?
Categorical.
Categorical. Is it nominal or ordinal?
Nominal.
Nominal. Right. No matter how much we want to put Portia above Fords, we're going to go ahead and say that that's nominal. All right. Cool. So might we expect that there's a relationship between the type, the manufacturer type, and price?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is going to be something when we start doing inferential statistics and we start to examine the relationship between certain things, we'll probably come back to this data set. But for the time being, we just want to look at the really basic stuff. So Ms. Simons, what do we do now? What interests you based on what you've learned today about SPSS? And you were sitting at home by yourself just exploring this data set. What would you do next?
I would probably want to know what the mean, median, and mode is of
the prices.
The prices, yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Talk to us about what we do now.
Would we stay in data view and then go up to let's see here. We would go up to analysis.
We would go to analyze, yes. Now, and just to be clear, you don't have to be in data view or variable. It can be in either one of them.
Okay.
But generally, I like to come back to data view because for some reason, variable view is disorienting to me. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, you go to analyze.
So go to analyze and then go to descriptive statistics and go over to frequencies.
That's right.
And then we're going to move all of those over to variable view.
Let's just do manufacturer and let's just do price and that's your price. Yeah, price in thousands. Yeah.
Okay, sales in thousands.
Price in thousands.
Oh, price in. Oh, I see.
Let's just do price in thousands. Yeah.
So over in the variable should be manufacturer and price in thousands.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and then we're going to go to statistics.
That's right.
And then under statistics, we're going to click on mean, median, mode, minimum, maximum.
That's correct.
And continue.
That's correct.
And then under continue, we're going to click on OK.
That's correct. All right. So your output should jump out. And okay. So we have some pretty interesting stuff here. Like I said, as you see here, I have no questions to answer because I did this at the last minute. So somebody tell me, thank you. That was very good, Ms. Simons. I appreciate it. Did somebody have their hand raised?
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
That was great. So how many manufacturers do we have? What's the N for our manufacturers?
157.
157. Well, what happened with our price in thousands?
2 of them didn't report.
2 of them. That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. So in terms of price in thousands, what was our average price in thousands?
27,000.
27,000. And Maurice, can you share with everybody where you found that?
That is under statistics and go down to mean and over to price in thousands.
That's it. That's it. What is the price that we saw the most frequently?
12,640.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. What was the maximum price?
85,500.
And the minimum?
9,200.
Great. Great. This is a older data set, so. All right. Let's take a look at the frequency table for this. All right. Let's take a look at the manufacturer. All right, what percent, and we're going to use a percent column here, what percent did Mercedes make up of this data set?
56.1. Oh, wait.
We're looking at percent.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. 5.7.
9.5.
5.7.
5.7.
Oh, 5.7. I saw Mercury underneath and thought it was Mercy.
It's all good.
Clearly,
All
I need
right.
a prescription.
So, which of these manufacturers seem to have the most cars on the road?
Dodge and Ford.
Dodge and Ford. That's right. With 11, looks like they have 11 models here. Let's see, what else can we deduce? Well, let me just throw it to you guys. Tell me what it is that you can deduce from this. Well, like just looking at this manufacturer table, tell me something interesting that pops out to you. That's probably the best way for you to learn how to use this.
Infiniti and Jaguar are probably most expensive because they have the least frequency, maybe.
It's interesting. Yeah, I'd be interested to take a look at their
But Subaru is cheaper and it only has 2.
And then Mercedes has 9, so that kind of blows that out.
Yeah, that's true. So what determines the frequency? The question could be,
Look at B and W, y'all.
3.
Yeah, you got three models there. Volvo. So yeah, pretty basic stuff. Just cross section of what they found in the car industry that year. Let's scroll on down to price in thousands. It's not going to get a ton here. These are just how often these prices came up. And yeah, looks like we only had one 38,000 that showed up twice. So nothing overly interesting there. Yeah. Okay.
12,000 something showed up twice as well.
Did it?
Yes.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Yep. You're right.
So Dr. Munn, in this table, you're not going to see the 2 that did not report?
Yeah, they're right here. Where
Okay.
it says missing system right here, 2
Okay.
and 1.3%. So yeah, 1.3% of this entire of all the respondents did not show up here. So
Dr. Munn. Am I unmuted, Dr. Munn?
Yeah.
So can you scroll back up to, I think it was the statistics that show, that right there. So for mode, okay, I'm reading this small text down here because mode, 12,000 showed up twice and 38,000 showed up twice, but this subtext is saying that multiple modes exist. The
so they
smallest.
had the smallest.
Why did they choose the smallest? What's the point of that? Is that just what they decided to do randomly?
Yeah, that's what IBM wanted to do. Yeah, I guess there's just no overt rule in statistics to say you have to choose one or the other. I would average them, but
okay.
They just decided to take the lowest one.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this data set just kind of proves that mode doesn't always really matter that much.
Yeah, you have to. It is what's the word? It doesn't always. I'll leave it at that. It doesn't always matter. You have to take it with a grain of salt. And general numbers and the kind of in which you do with statistics, you have to be. You have to make it make sense. It has to be logical. So yeah. All right. Let's move into a class scenario. Yeah, all right. So let's minimize data set 8, and then let's go ahead and pull up your data set 4, college students.
I think I got my SPSS to work.
There it is. There it is. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So data set 4, college students. This data set contains survey results from 435 students enrolled at a university in the United States. The survey was conducted during the spring 2014. I think these are already labeled, so there's no need to do that. We're going to look at all the variables in this data set except for IDs.
What is expressed values? What does that mean? Number 2, be sure to label all nominal ordinal data with expressed value labels.
So that basically means that anything here, so anything that is nominal so for like male or female athlete, freshman, anything like that needs to be transferred over to a number. That's all that means. So if it has words here, it needs to be converted over to numbers. That's all. So you see here where it says rank, gender, athlete, smoking. I think it has in-state and out-of-state here. State, living on campus, car. I think all those would have to be changed over to numbers. And in-state and out-of-state aren't doing it for me. So I guess we're going to omit running analysis on that one because SPSS isn't going to read that.
Does that have anything to do with string versus numeric?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's one thing I don't feel comfortable delving into that today because I need to, it's a very SPSS, very SPSS thing. Let me follow back up with you on that. That's not something we necessarily need to delve into today.
Okay.
But let me follow up with you on that because I want to be sure to get that right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to. But yeah, in this instance, we're going to be taking a look at how these freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors responded to the survey. All right. So let us let's take this to the dean of students. All right. You are a team of employees supporting the dean of student support at a university in the Pacific Northwest. Your campus is in a remote location and a significant portion of your students travel long distances. There are some concerns that this may contribute to poor academic outcomes for freshmen and sophomores. Admittedly, many of these concerns seem to be conjecture, and before your team delves deeply into the research for solutions, you want a clear picture of the student body. And so you have a data set representing an exact 10% sample of your student body. And so you got a couple of questions to answer. What is the population of the school? We'll get to that. All right. So before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and walk through these steps. And Ms. Simons, I'm going to ask for you to help me get to the output table. How do we do that again?
Okay. So we're going to go up to Analyze.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to click on Analyze and go to Descriptive Statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And from Descriptive Statistics, go to Frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And what were the category? What were the?
We're going to do all except for IDs. And there was another one. I think it was state, but we'll just put state in there.
Okay, so highlight and click over everything except IDs and state.
We can leave state in there. It won't cause too much trouble.
So move everything over to variables except IDs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, what do we do next?
Okay, wait a minute. I need to get them all over there.
Okay.
How do you highlight all of them? You said you.
Yeah, you can just click shift at the very, let me go back here. So you can click on the first one, press and hold down shift.
Uh-huh.
Scroll down or scroll down to the very bottom. Hit click on the last one.
Okay, got it. And now the arrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm with you. Now we're going to click on statistics.
Yes, ma'am.
And from statistics, we're going to do mean, median, mode, minimum, Maximum. And was there another?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. And now
That's
click on continue.
Dr. Munn,
Yes.
can we go back?
Yeah, happily.
Not the highlighting part. I had a question.
Sure.
See in the other boxes they categorize posterior.
Uh-oh.
What is
skewness and kurtosis?
Yes, what is that?
So that basically shows if we were doing, and we may touch on this next week, that's going to deal with the bell curve and how that bell curve looks, and basically how healthy is the distribution. That's the short answer of skewness and how skewed or unskewed. Basically, if you're trying to do a distribution, a frequency or any kind of distribution of a small sample size, you start to get into trouble. Or if you get one that's heavily skewed. So let's just say we do, I think you'll hear about this in the next coming months. We do a phone sample of voters in North Carolina. And we are looking at, what we want is a true representation of who's voting for the Commissioner of Agriculture. And we do the sample size, or the sample that we use to represent North Carolina is too heavily skewed on young folk, or too heavily skewed on older folk, or too heavily skewed on landlines, then it's not going to give you a clearer picture. And so what this thing tells you is basically how skewed your distribution is. It gives you a score. And kurtosis is another measure of the characteristics of your sample. So I know you've probably heard, unskewed polls and things like that. That's essentially what that is. It's a measure of just how the distribution of your data looks. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, no problem. All right. So when
you want to click continue, yes, yeah. And then okay.
All right. We're gonna get a ton of data here, but it'll give us a lot of stuff here. All right. So looks like we have 427 people who responded. But if we look at the missing category, right? And we see where it says 0, okay? And the question was, are you an athlete or are you not an athlete? We had how many people did not answer?
0.
Right.
Everyone answered or nobody answered?
Everybody answered that question.
Now, Dr. Munn, tell me, because couldn't we, let me let you go where you're going, and then I'm gonna see.
No, go ahead.
So it seems like what you're trying to do is get really what N is, because if you were to look at that first column, you have 427, but that's only the number of people who answered for birthday, because there are 8 off. So you would either need to add those together to get the total, or do what you did, which is go find a category or variable that has 0. But on the previous screen, when we went into statistics and chose mean, median, and mode, couldn't we just do sum, and wouldn't that spit out like what the actual number was?
Absolutely, you can do that as well. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So matter of fact, let's do that. You're going to go here to frequencies. And I started to do that, but I wanted to be consistent. So I'm going to put out, where'd you go? There's my red arrow. Why did you go to the bottom?
So do we need to go back and add some?
I'm just going to do it. You don't have to.
Okay.
I think we're almost there. Yep, there we go. So in this situation, it looks like they're adding all of one category. So actually, it doesn't give you the it doesn't actually give you the total in. So I think the safest thing to do in this situation, if you want to get the actual n, is to find when we're missing is 0, and or you can add missing and the valid. But what I think it's doing is it's taking one of those, and so or in this case, athlete or non-athlete, and it's adding them all up for that respondent. Same thing with smoking and the rest here. But I think they're doing. We didn't deal very much with some as a measure. So yeah. So back to my original question here, where I was going. 435. If we were taking if this is an exact 10% sample of the university, and 435 is our in. You can also go down here to in-state or out-of-state. They also had a 100% response rate on that question. If we're taking an exact 10% 10% sample, what is our total population for this university?
43,500?
Not 43,000.
4,300? 4,000?
4350. That's right. That's right.
Where did you get that from?
So when we come back over here in the class scenario, where did I have that? 10% scenario. Okay. You have a data set representing an exact 10%.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I had to find it there.
Okay, so 435 is 10% of 4,350. Okay.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Okay, so I'm going to make this full screen here, and I'm going to move my output. I hope everyone else has it up there. I'm going to move my output to my other screen here, and I am going to make this full screen, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions here. All right. What percentage of your students live off campus and on campus? And just based on that, would distance be an issue? So we've had an opportunity to take a look at these tables, okay? In the last couple of examples, right? So let's take a look. I want to know what percentage of your students live off campus and the others live on.
There's a lot of data to scroll through.
Yeah, because I can't see all of it in one. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Cynthia, go down. Don't go over. Go down because you want to get to the live on campus table. So I just found it. So the percent that live on campus is 39.1%, and who live off campus is 56.1%. And no, that does not equal 100. It equals 95.2 because 4.8% did not answer, or 21 people did not answer that question. Is that right?
Dr. Munn.
I'm not sure. Hold on.
Wait a minute, I need to get.
That's what I saw, Maurice.
Oh, yeah, it's
Okay.
on the data.
Thank you, Dr. Davis.
You're looking at the percent, correct? Not the value.
So
Okay.
Maurice is right. 56.1%
56.1% live on campus.
Live off
answered.
campus.
And
Because
then
we have
39%.
4% didn't answer. So yes.
Yep. So if we're looking at percent, which I made very clear is what Maurice is absolutely right. We had 4%, or almost 5% who didn't answer. Now, the other question was, would distance be an issue? So if we're trying to determine if distance is an issue, and the majority of our students live off campus in this remote Pacific Northwest, let's just say Oregon University, would distance be an issue?
Yes.
I say no. I mean, it could have been, but 44% ride in a car, and 3% use the public transit. Only 10. Let's just say hypothetically, only 10% are really close to the school.
So let's just take a look at the live on campus percentage. That's a very astute observation there. But let's just take a look at the live on campus stat here. If we're just going to make a quick look here, and almost 60% of our students live off campus, and we would assume that they had to travel in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Distance, we could surmise that distance would be an issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. So how much so how much of your student body are freshmen, sophomore, and senior? So for that, we're going to go to classification. And yes, this was a ton of data.
Yeah, is that at the top? Is that at the top or the bottom?
I'm assuming it's probably near the top. I'm hoping it is.
Yeah, because that's.
I'm moving along with you, Sarah.
I have like a folder structure on the left part of mine, so you could just click on the various rank
yes,
and everything
rank.
else.
Bingo.
Oh, thank you,
Brilliance.
Wait, you have
Brilliant.
what, Brady?
There's like a folder structure on the left side of the screen, so you can click on rank. You can click NSPSS.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, okay,
Thank
and
you,
which
sir.
area did you ask for?
Rank.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking for rank.
Oh, thank you, Brandon.
Yes.
Just randomly found it.
You are the man. All right.
I do have a question before we discuss it.
Sure.
Is this categorical, or when they go freshman, sophomore, junior, is it ordinal?
It is absolutely categorical, and it is absolutely ordinal.
Ordinal.
Yep.
It is
absolutely.
ordinal?
Yes, ordinal. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. You got it. So what percentage, if we're looking at regular percent here, what percentage of them are freshmen?
33.8.
Senior.
14.9.
And sophomore.
22.1.
All right. What is the primary form of commute? So we're going to go down to how commute. And thank you so much for that, Brady. That's amazing.
Right?
No, saved my life.
Right. Car at 44.4%.
Yes.
But dang near half the people didn't even answer that question, so we don't really know if that's the truth. But of the sample of who answered, that's the primary form.
Why might half of the people not have responded?
They don't commute.
Bingo.
Bingo.
So
that would be they would.
Does that mean they live on campus?
Yeah, so they asked this question of everybody. How do they commute? And so if the people who are not commuting are answering, they should have had an A there probably.
Right, yeah.
But they didn't put NA in there, so they just didn't answer.
Could it also be they commute different ways, different days? So maybe they didn't answer that way.
Ah, yeah, there could be some discrepancy there. Yeah, that's a point. That's a point. There's lots of reasons people get to a certain point in the ill-constructed survey and just don't answer. So that's why surveys are the way survey construction is so important. Okay, so what is the the average writing score, English, and what subject do the students perform the poorest on? So we're gonna go up to writing, or actually no. Let's go all the way up to the top to the frequency table. Why did you do that? Statistics, here we go. So we're gonna go all the way to the statistics table here. So you look on the left-hand side, you'll see frequencies, then you'll see title notes, and then you'll see statistics. You click on statistics. It should tell you what your mean score for writing is.
Wait a minute, give those instructions again.
Sure, yeah. So you see on the left-hand side where it says frequencies, and then you'll see title, you'll see notes, and then you'll see statistics. Click on statistics. Okay. And then you'll go across here, across the top, and you'll look for writing as a subject.
Okay, I'm with you.
79.52.
That's right. English.
82.7.
Which is the toughest subject apparently here between English, reading, math, and writing?
Math.
Math.
That's a big inference, but based off this data, math.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna let you all take it from here. What was the heaviest recorded weight? Still in the same table. Give you a little hint. Minimum, maximum.
350.
All right, it's a linebacker. So not linebacker. That's an O lineman right there. All right. What is the average weight of the student body?
181.
Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
No.
Average weight. 181. Okay, yes, I see it.
And where do you see it? Which measure do you use to get the average?
Mean.
Good.
So
Good.
mean, it goes straight across.
That's correct. That's correct.
Dr. Mon, when I hovered over, it said to activate, double click. What did it do when I did that?
Activate, double click. Uh-oh. I don't know. I'm not sure what you did.
Okay.
What did it kick out for you? Did it change anything?
No, it's like
It sent out another chart.
Yes, that's what it did.
Oh, like this, the pivot table?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, just close that out.
Okay.
Yeah, just hit exit out. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right. Okay. Let's scroll down. I think the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. I think this is important. Number 8. How long in minutes is the longest commute?
Same table?
Same table.
$64.
That's absolutely right. Now, why? No, well, wait. What measure is that? Did you
maximum?
Maximum, correct?
Maximum.
You think maximum? I gotta find a maximum. So all you're doing is converting words to what you would find on a frequency table. That's all you're doing.
IBM needs to learn how to freeze that first one so that when we scroll over, we don't have to do all this.
I think you can. I think you can do that. All right. average amount of sleep students get? And when I say average, which statistic am I talking about?
Mean.
Bingo. And these are in hours.
Almost 5.5.
Yep. 5.46 hours.
Can y'all give me which oh, I see it, sleep time. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sleep time. Y'all doing very good. Also, you're doing very well being able to interpret these variables. What you're doing a lot of stuff in your head. You're looking at the variables, you're converting the words to actual statistics, and then you're going over here. So you're doing a lot of stuff. This is impressive. You're doing a good job. All right. And what's the average study time?
7.21.
That's right. The average study time is 7.21 hours. I'm assuming that that's a week because I sure as heck haven't studied 7.2 hours.
They're not telling the truth.
Yes, be real. Yeah, and what is the most recorded time?
That would be what, the maximum?
6
correct.
hours. Oh, wait.
23 hours.
Wouldn't it be
23?
Wait, the most?
Why isn't it mode?
Yeah, the most recorded time, meaning.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe so yes. Whoever said mode is brings up a great question. I didn't frame that well. So what I should have said was what was the maximum or what was the most and what I wanted there was 23 hours. There was a student obviously who recorded 23 hours of study time. But what you're saying is what is the most frequent study time that showed up, and that would be 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got me? Cool. Yes. And so the sum would be all of the study time hours, sleep time would be all the sleep hours, commute time would be all the commute minutes. And sometimes you'll see that statistic from time to time as well. So you can write up a really cool, from this, and this is sort of what I do based on analysis on a day-to-day basis, based on what the numbers say, you can write up a pretty cool report. You can write a report on all these questions. You can answer all these questions, and you can pull in other, sources, to sort of add some context and some, storytelling. So you can get a narrative from a student who lives on campus, and then you can get a narrative from a student who lives 20 miles from campus, and you can fold all this information in and write up a really, really good report for your superiors. So that maybe the superiors and administrators can craft policy that then makes the most sense for all of these students. That is it for this week. What I would urge you to do, in addition to reading ERI, pages 100 to 118, is just to, grab some other data sets that are in Canvas, play with this, get more and more familiar with it, answer some questions, just get familiar with it however you can. And so I would just, find variables, find categorical variables, and then corresponding continuous variables. And I would just, go to analyze, I'd go to frequency, analyze the statistics and frequencies. And I would just play with it. That's how I learned SPSS. I obviously, did my work in school and in class, but then I would come home and I would say, okay, so this is what I have some questions about, and I would just play with it until I got a better understanding of it. So a lot of this is just sort of, your own self-motivated exploration. And, by week 4 or 5, it's next week's 4, but next week 6 or 7, you'll have a great grasp on the program and be able to start answering research questions. So for next Friday, by next Friday at 11:59, today I'll go ahead and post the video discussion board. I'll go ahead and next couple of days and post the analysis assignment. But for next Friday, by 11:59, please respond to the video discussion board. I'll probably be doing some responses. So if I come to your post with a question, please pay attention and follow back up with me so that we can have more of a conversation. I find that conversations with these discussion boards really help facilitate learning. And then the analysis assignment is going to come out. It's going to be a pretty cool one. So looking forward to getting your responses and your work back from that. And that is due Friday, September the 5th by 11:59 p.m. Other than that, that's it for this week. Didn't want to overload you. Wanted you all to get the basics. You're both learning SPSS this week. You're both learning. You're learning SPSS. You're also learning, the content in terms of frequencies. So hopefully when we get into the heavier stuff later on this semester, you'll have a grasp on SPSS and you'll be able just to focus on the content. You'll be able to sort of move around and play around with it. Star of the day goes to Brady for the table on the left side. That in my years of using SPSS, I've just always ignored that. So. Or I've had data sets that were just, the output was a lot smaller and truncated, so I didn't need it.
But am I good for the semester now?
Well, that wouldn't be fair to the others. So thanks. I love the try though. I love it. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? Any feedback? Things I could do better, things I could do less of.
Great job.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, thank you. You did a wonderful job today.
Thank you. And I'm certainly open to critical feedback. I want to get better. This is new for me, doing it in this format. But I did a lot of this computer stuff last time when I did it face to face, and I was confident we'd be able to get through it. So thank you. I'm going to let you all go and have a wonderful weekend. Pay attention to Canvas as things pop up, and look forward to getting your responses. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks.
Take care.